So I watched the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte, so you don't have to. Sorry I didn't dress better. I feel it's important to dress for a funeral. You know what? There. As I was saying, it's important to dress for a funeral. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Johnny Walker, that is. The blue label. Do something a little different on screen today. We'll give Lagavulin the night off. People are going to see this video and be like, blazer, short hair, talking Star Wars. What year is this? Time is a construct. Everything you thought you knew was a lie. Including, but not limited to, fires not being able to burn in the vacuum of space. That's right, if you loved curving lasers in the vacuum of space, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so I saw The Acolyte episodes 1 and 2. This is not going to be a play-by-play because there's a lot to talk about. More specifically, pick apart. Just going to give you my tardy, slightly late thoughts on the show. Apologies for that. Anyhow, The Acolyte's out, and there's something to be said about consistency. As it was going down, I texted a buddy 2 letters. And someone else I know saw The Acolyte, and he texted me those same 2 letters. Those letters are CW. This feels like Star Wars on the CW. Which the CW has given us some great stuff, but not everything's supposed to feel like the CW. Star Wars feeling like the CW, that's a problem. And just letting you know, I haven't read those High Republic books, so if there's information in here that I'm missing, well, you've been warned. I preface all that because the beginning text of this show says that there's peace in the Republic, but a few have chosen to learn the Force in secret, which implies it's different. It says a few, not 2. So they're not talking about rule of 2. So these aren't Sith. They're just other folks who are learning the Force in secret. And one risks exposure for the sake of vengeance. Which I just have questions at that point, which I hope they answer. They could answer it. Hope is a strong word. I actually don't give a fuck, but for the sake of continuity, as I'm a fan of continuity, like, was there any pushback? Is there a council of these few Force users? Is she just allowed to go out there and risk exposure? Or discovery? The word's discovery. Is she doing this with their blessing? Is she gone rogue? Does a dude with that Venom designed motorcycle helmet even care? Anyhow, the first Jedi she comes across is Carrie-Anne Moss. Which, to be fair, Carrie-Anne Moss and the hand-to-hand fighting, I thought it was entertaining. There's a reason they got Carrie-Anne Moss for that part, because, I mean, that's Trinity. Couple of problems, not just talking about the fact that she bites it in the first 9 minutes of the show. Yeah, Carrie-Anne Moss, heavily used in the promotional marketing. She's on the banner of the show on Disney+. Dead. A little misleading. But the antagonist girl's like, attack me if you dare, something like that. So this bar fight breaks out in which she's this force-wielding assassin. And this Carrie-Anne Moss Jedi is just watching her beat the shit out of everyone she was just talking to a few seconds ago. Are they friends with this Jedi lady? Does she care? Even if they're strangers or friends, she is a guardian of peace and freedom in the Republic. What is she, Wirtz from the Dark Knight? She like, it's my day off. It felt weird that this assassin could be killing everybody. At the very least, they have permanent damage, and she's just watching it go down. She jumps in after they're all down. Then yeah, she takes a dagger to the heart and dies. So a lightsaber stab, not guaranteed death, but throwing knife. Sure. I mean, it was a direct heart shot. That will kill you. Both should definitely be death. You know the thing that bothered me? The one shot that just it officially got under my skin is that Coruscant shot of the Jedi Temple. How does a shot of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant from 1999 look better than 2024? The answer is simple. It was made by someone who gave a fuck before, that's how. It looks like a PS1 shot. I mean, the CGI looks better than PS1, sure. In terms of structure, it looks kind of like a PS1 shot of a city from a video game. They wanted to make it look like a city, but they didn't have the memory to make a detailed landscape or a backdrop. So they have these random buildings poking up intermittently throughout, make it look like a city. But it doesn't look like a city. It doesn't even look lived in. It just looks like AI made this thing. Like someone typed in an AI thing like, hey, AI, make Coruscant. Oh, that's what a robot thinks Coruscant looks like when it's lived in. It's the same 5 buildings copied, pasted, awkwardly thrown into the surrounding area. You know, I take it back. I feel like the CW might have done that one better. So the whole thing, the angle, the pitch for this series is that we're gonna get a look at the villain's side of things, or the dark side user's side of things. I forgot how it was phrased, but that's the gist. So yeah, it looks like a group of Jedi because this assassin Force user and this new protagonist, they're twin sisters. Twin sisters who have not seen each other for 15 years, but coincidentally decided to have the same haircut. So that's why people are like, oh no, she actually killed people, but it's not, it's her twin sister. That's right, the whole long-lost twin trope is how you bring new concepts to Star Wars. So the Jedi left one for dead, looks like they hid it, they covered it up, and now she's pissed. So the Jedi are dicks. Don't look up to them. We have no one to aspire to. There are no heroes. But it's weird because there's no sense that Murder is bad. When Force user assassin antagonist is talking with her friend and he's like, so did you kill the Jedi yet? She's like, I have 2 more. They sound like they're talking about murder, like they're talking about going and getting a bite of Chipotle after work. It's weird. There's no concept that it's taking a toll on anyone's soul. Like it's a bad thing. Or to be clear, a heavy thing. It doesn't feel like it's a big deal. You are talking about killing people, at least address it like it's outside the norm. If her friend was like Adam Goldberg in the movie The Prophecy, and he's just being forced to help her but doesn't want to, you could see it's taking a toll on his soul. You know, that'd be intriguing. Even Anakin Skywalker squeaked a tear or two when he turned to the dark side and was like, but I'm doing this because I feel I need to. Or if you're gonna sound like murder's just normal to you, it's another Tuesday, at least sound hardened. Just sends mixed signals. Makes me feel like we've lost the philosophical angle. In general, other than the hand-to-hand combat, the Terrace Kasi as it was going down, the general cinematography and tone, it's just boring. That's what I'm gonna say about the show. It's a mediocre, boring television show. It's what a lot of shows felt like in the fall, kids, and they didn't last long. It's filled with uninteresting and even useless characters, like having Dean Charles Chapman as some master Jedi. I love the dude. I think he's great. Proof positive. You can have a great actor cast in a role that's just not for him. He's all floating there in this meditative state with this big horrible fake beard that's supposed to make him look older than he actually is. Another prime example where a Star Wars TV, you remember when they said the Star Wars TV shows are gonna feel like movies? No, they don't. At what point was there no pushback? Did anyone in the room raise their hand and be like, yeah, he doesn't look old enough. This looks cheesy. Did anyone in the room raise their hand and try to push back on fire in the vacuum of space? There's always wiggle room in sci-fi, things that bend this or that, but if it's entertaining enough, we'll give it a slide. The masses generally understand that a nice little fire is not going to burn in the vacuum of space. I'm convinced they might have consulted someone from the set of Superman 4, because these 2 moments are fairly even. There's also a lazy-ass convenient prison break. Right before she straps in, tucks her head, and prays for the best on her crash landing from space. This is the same universe where at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, they didn't crash, they were falling with style. But for a crash landing like this, say hello to the last bastards who didn't abandon ship. When Venom-designed motorcycle helmet guy was given his monologue,
steel or laser are no threat to them.
This sounds like pseudo-intellectual nonsense. It sounds like AI. Like, hey, AI, what would a philosophical villain say right here? But he ignites his lightsaber? I'm sick and tired of that shit. Baddies always igniting their lightsabers, cuz. Just showing off that big Sith energy? Why do they do that? It's the same thing Darth Maul did in that Solo movie. It's in a hologram talking, he just ignites his lightsaber for the absolute fuck of it. It's just, is there a release that they feel? It's just fan-baiting nonsense. And that's a big problem here, is that's what Star Wars has become. They'll make something half-assed for an insane budget. What's the budget of this show? Like 170 million or something like that? People are either lining their pockets or they truly are that bad at their job. In the end, I'm a firm believer a pilot episode should grip you. I've noticed a recent trend where the thing is not to release 1 episode, but 3, because you can't hook in 1. Another lost art. But I'm not hooked. Could have been an interesting murder mystery. It's not even a murder mystery. We know who's doing the murders. It's a cover-up mystery, really. A cover-up show, a manhunt show. Point is, it's a very expensive TV show that feels like a really cheap TV show. It's filled with corny lines and moments, characters you don't care about, characters that feel like they were written by someone who heard about what Star Wars is, so they're just faking it till they make it. At least the first 2 episodes of the show, to be fair. I absolutely do not promise I'm going to make any more videos on the Acolyte going forward. This did not make me give enough of a fuck. Granted, if there's something profoundly great that happens in the show, or awful, yeah, sure, that's worth doing a video about. Hey, just because Lucasfilm's allergic to making money doesn't mean I need to be. But if it's more of this stagnant state of cinematic indifference, I just go touch some grass, paint some Warhammer, live. I will leave you on this because there's been a lot of chatter about it. Dude got it wrong who blew up the Death Star.
But if you can't look and see the Anakin blowing up the Death Star...
Anakin Skywalker, come on, man. We all know who blew up the Death Star. We saw it.
Fire.
Alright, so the Acolyte episodes 1 and 2. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.